Hello, my friends. It is Autism Awareness Month, or as Autism Society is trying to shift it to Autism Acceptance Month. And I wanted to share with you some lessons that I've learned from raising a child with autism. The first is unconditional love. You know, not all kids with autism are aggressive. Evan was. And so it can be really hard to spend time with someone who is emotionally and physically abusive. But as I've learned, love is not dependent on behavior, especially when it's someone close to you. And so while you don't want to allow people in your lives to take advantage of you, unconditional love means you accept people warts and all, right? Rather than try to change them or fix them, you accept them, which is the second lesson. Acceptance. And this has been hard and it's fleeting and I struggle with it still. And that is, you know, there's this life that you think your child's going to have and you dream of being a parent and what that experience will be like. And when it's not like that and your child doesn't have that life, it can feel disappointing. So learning to accept what is rather than what could have been has been a really powerful lesson, and it's one I use in a lot of different areas of my life. Next is empathy, right? Like I, at first, for a very long time, really felt sorry for myself and wondered, why me? And when I stopped to think about it from Evan's perspective, it became much easier to empathize with him. So when he was aggressive or when he was difficult or when his behavior was out of control, knowing that that's not what he wanted, right? Children wouldn't behave like that if they could behave differently. They want to be loved and accepted and appreciated and all the other human, right, emotions that we have. Empathy has been a real skill that I have learned to cultivate and try to put myself in his shoes and understand what he's going through. And that has really opened my heart and my eyes. Another lesson, support. You can't do this alone. A lot of people who have kids with mental illness or autism don't want to talk about it. It feels very isolating, but it really truly does take a village. We had a caregiver for 6 years that came to our home 5 or 6 days a week. I have support groups. I have great friends. I have my dogs who are roaming around, right? Like my family. You have to have support and you have to put release valves in place for this next lesson, which is probably the most important. And that is take care of you. It's exhausting. And worrying about someone and trying to navigate all of the resources and everything that you have to do when you have a kiddo with special needs, especially with autism, it's easy to get burned out. And I did, and it caused a tumor in my salivary gland that resulted in a whole slew of events, right? You have to take time to take care of you. And even if that means, finding special camps or finding special caregivers, care.com became our best friend. So I have learned so much from raising a kiddo with autism, and chances are you know somebody who's on the spectrum. It's a wide range of behaviors. It can take many different forms, and I would just encourage you to get curious and build awareness and acceptance. And most importantly, don't judge other parents because you never know what they're going through. It's so easy to look at other people and the way they talk to their kids, discipline their kids, and go, I would never do that. Well, you don't know what you would do until you're in the situation. And these parents are struggling enough, right? We don't need other people telling us all the places we're falling short. So really take time to extract lessons. That's what resilient people do. They extract lessons from difficult events, and these were mine. Thanks for listening and watching. Talk to you soon.